Hello. How are you?
Uh, I'm good, and you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm kind of nervous.
That's okay. You're just talking to me. Don't pay attention to YouTube. You and I are just
Oh no,
talking.
I'm not.
Okay, let me go
All right, that
ahead.
sounds good.
What do you got for me? Let me go ahead and put my view up here so you can see me.
Okay, so um, basis of the story is I'm 22 and I'm in nursing school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in. I graduate next December, and like I'm really trying to get serious about like dating more high value men. And I have met like one person that I would consider high value, but I'm not sure of like how to go about it because I'm 10 years, I'm 12 years younger than him. So I'm like trying to figure out what does he want from me? Like how do I kind of go about it?
How old is he? I mean, do you know if he's? Do you wait? First off, you got your eye on him.
Mm-hmm. He has his eye on me. He drove about 2 hours to come visit me at school.
Okay.
Um just yeah, just someone like I've just like talked to and met. It's not someone like I went and chased down.
Okay. I need to be clear. You said that
Mm-hmm.
you're in nursing school.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. We don't do the mm-hmm. We do yes or no.
Yes.
All right. And how did? And he said he approached you how
Via social media.
to do what? He approached you to date.
Yeah,
Yes.
just get to know each other.
Okay. To what end?
Um, See, he wasn't specific on that, and I didn't say anything. I was just trying to
Well,
kind of see
see,
like
that's
how
a
it plays
problem.
out.
He's 34, approaching a 22 year
Mm-hmm.
old. Yes, not a mm-hmm. He's 34, approaching a 22-year-old with an
Yes.
undetermined goal. That's not good.
Okay.
He should know. And see, there's a lot of things wrong with this. One, 34-year-old man should not be approaching a 22-year-old woman without a plan. Number one. Number two, you should not be trying to figure out how to get on his plan. Where's your dad?
Me and my dad haven't spoken since I was 9.
Okay. Why?
Yeah. He was really
To
abusive,
whom?
and so to my mom and to me
Hold on. Hold on.
when
Hold
I
on.
was really young.
Let me. Hold on now. I got to ask some questions here.
Mm-hmm.
Abusive to you. See, this abuse.
Like physically abuse,
Okay.
physically
Okay.
abusive.
All right.
Yes.
So, again, due respect, I don't know. Um, you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have a little brother.
And is he not?
I'm the oldest.
So, did you mean abusive? I mean, you got a whooping or you got a broken arm?
No, it wasn't towards just it was more like emotionally abusive towards me, but he was physically abusive towards my
And
mom,
that's
so they
okay, ma'am. I
split.
gotta be real with you. Your father's relationship with your mother has nothing to do with your father. He is your father. See, far too many of our women want to throw men away and then wonder why you don't know men.
I didn't throw him away. He
I
just never
said
talked.
far
We
too
just
many of okay. I said far too okay. Let me make it
okay.
clear, okay? You got some issues with
Yes, sir.
dad.
I know.
So you're not gonna fix them on this call and you're not gonna act as though I don't know what I'm talking about. You need to get this square. You need to get your daddy issues in check before you deal with any men. And when I asked you
I've
about
tried
your
to like
father, you're telling me about what he did
uh-huh.
with your mother, and that is not your
Uh-huh.
concern. That was those two grown people. You said he was abusive, and I gotta tell you, what I'm expecting to hear is he broke my arm or broke my leg, and we had to be moved into protective custody. And that's not what I hear often from women. What I often hear from women is a child's point of view on what they saw between two adults, and you don't know. It's all it's coming down to. You don't know. And why is that relevant? Well, daddy issues end up having issues with men in general. Where is your father?
I don't know. Like we haven't talked in like 13 years. We
Okay.
haven't talked.
Okay.
I've wanted to reach out, and I've always wanted to, like, kind of, I'm not trying to make this into like a daddy issues type of show, but I've tried my best to kind of reach out, but like every time it comes to family, I'm always discouraged
By who?
to actually
The women of
my
the
mom.
exact
Yeah.
exactly. Parental alienation happens so often to women. See, I need you to listen to me. Okay? You're growing into your womanhood, right?
Hmm.
Yes. We don't do
Yes,
mm-hmm.
sir. Yes.
All right. Have you had boyfriends in the past?
Yeah, I had
Are
one.
you a virgin?
No.
All right. So you understand that relationships can be complicated.
Yes.
You cannot judge your father based upon what you saw at 8 years old between him and your mother. And I can almost guarantee your mother has not really told you anything positive or endearing about your father. And when you say you want to reach out to him, it's discouraged. That's all kind of problems. Like it or not, she, he is the man your mother chose to reproduce with once or how many times? Twice? You got your brothers by your father?
Just once. My mom got remarried.
Is she still married?
Yeah, they're still married.
All right. And your stepfather said what about your dad?
My stepdad doesn't really talk about my dad. They don't really. No one really talks about my dad. He's just like he's like, it's almost like he's a ghost.
Well, the only problem is
No
that's
one
your
talks about.
father. I don't really give a shit about anybody else. That's your father. And you need to understand who you got a whole half of you out there that you don't know. And there's a daddy sized hole in your existence. This happens. So it makes sense now. 22, 34. Yeah, no. That's why I say therapy is so necessary with black people. You don't need to be really worrying about relationships until you at least address these issues. And you're not
I
going to be
don't
able to.
want to like say.
Hmm?
I don't want to say like I haven't tried to like kind of address them, because I know I've always been extremely self-aware of like what's going on
You
with me
can't do it by
mentally, and like
yourself. You need to. Okay, I got to move on to another call. Let me just tell you this: you're too young. You don't know what's going on. This 34-year-old man, you got all these different things going on, ma'am. You need to address your issues, your father issues, your daddy issues with a licensed professional therapist. And you're not going to get any help with your mother because I will tell you this: there are going to be things that'll come out that you might be really surprised and shocked to hear that your mother was culpable and your father may not have been as guilty. It is not healthy to sit back and tell you you don't need to know your dad. You don't need to know anything about him. That's suspicious AF.
yes, sir. Thank you so much for talking with me.
You're welcome. And we
You
do
have a
this
good night.
often to our young girls. Let me ask this question: who are love? You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am well. What do you have for me?
So, I just wanted to ask more about. I know the topic was why are women so mad at high value men? And from my observation, I've seen that a lot of people just don't understand the definition of high value, which I see you explain it every time on your show.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's really the major issue. People really don't know what high value is, and it's just a misunderstood concept.
Well, how old are you?
I am 25.
25. Do you own a car?
Do I own a car?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Did you purchase that car?
Yes.
What make and model is it?
It's a Jeep Patriot.
A Jeep Patriot.
Hmm.
It has a value, right? If you
Yes.
were going to go try to sell it, you could only sell it between this dollar value and that dollar value. Could you go sell a Jeep Patriot on the market today for $100,000 used?
No.
Because it's not what?
It's not worth the same
It's
amount.
not
It
that
depreciates.
valuable.
Right.
Versus if you decided you wanted to go sell a Bentley of the same year used, could you get $100,000 for it as long as there hadn't been any kind of wrecks or accidents?
Yes.
We understand value. We do understand value. We don't like to ascribe value to people because it's very cold. It's very real. You ever go into a nightclub before?
A nightclub. Yeah, I've been to a club before.
Um, you ever see the VIP line where the young pretty girls get in for free?
Yes.
Have you ever been in that line? Or I mean, you know that line,
I have.
huh?
I have.
And then what about the women that weren't in that line?
They have attitudes and they're wondering why they're not getting in as
Hold on,
fast.
are they really wondering why, or did they know why?
They probably
There's no
know. I'm
probably,
sure they
man.
know.
There's no probably. They know. Tell
Okay.
me why you getting the VIP for free and they can't.
Because we're dressed up. So like when you go out, we're wearing dresses, we wear heels.
Okay, if you
So
look
we
like if you look like Precious in heels and a dress, could you get in the VIP?
no.
Okay, so let's not play. At 25, I treat
It's
I
the
treat you as a grown woman. At 25, and at 25, you understand that you have to be of a certain looks value to get into this place for free. And if you don't, you stand in line and pay with the dudes.
right.
So what's not to understand? We get this. It's just harsh,
That makes sense.
right? So, do you want to be married?
Yes.
Okay. Any kid? You want to have children?
I do not have
Uh,
children,
no, no, no. You want to
but
have children?
I
Do
definitely
you want to
want
have
to.
children? Is a question.
Yeah.
How many?
I would say two or three.
Okay. Do you want to have to work to pay substantial bills or significant bills after you're pregnant?
No.
No. Okay. And what part of the country are you in? North, south, east, or west?
I'm in the South.
Okay. So if you're going to be a stay-at-home wife with 3 kids, how much money would a man have to make to have a wife stay at home with 3 kids to support an upper middle class lifestyle? How much would he need to make annually?
For North Carolina, I would say anywhere between 150 and 200,000.
What part of North Carolina are you in?
I am in like the Gibsonville area.
All right. When I
It's a
say
really
when I
small,
say upper middle class, what I mean is, would you want all 3 of the children to be able to go to college if they wanted to?
yes.
Okay. Would you want them to have to take out student loans, or would you want to be able to pay for it?
I would want to be able to pay for
All
that.
right. So when the kids each turn 16, let's say would you want them to have a car?
Yes,
Right. And I'm assuming you'd want that car to be clean, safe, reliable transportation.
of course. Yes.
So you ain't gonna get there on no $150,000 a year with a family of 5. You're talking about a man who's making 300 some odd $1,000 plus. Because college for three children. See, a lot of you young ladies don't really seem to understand how much money you're looking for a man to make.
Right. Well, I'm really thinking about like when I think of family planning, I look at like mutual funds, different things that you can invest in to prepare for college, not necessarily it coming completely out of pocket.
But
So,
ma'am,
but I definitely,
but that's still not something you plan on paying for. You plan on being, you want to be
I'm
a house.
sorry, you're
I mean,
right.
you want, and here's the thing. I'm not a begrudge. Here's the thing. I'm just trying to give clarity. Three children, each having a
Mhm.
car at 16 in college. To raise a child from 0 to 18 is $200,000 in this country. And you're talking about tacking on an additional $50,000 to $70,000 in college bills. A man is going to have to make 300 plus $1,000, and I don't think a lot of you ladies get that. And I'm not trying. And what I'm trying to get you to understand is, if you want a man that makes that kind of money, what does he want? What kind of woman does he want?
He wants someone who's feminine, definitely, someone who takes care of their body and who's easy to get along with.
Okay, that comes standard. So how tall are you?
I am about 5'7", 5'7.5".
Dress size?
My dress size is a 4.
Okay. How much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
My last weigh-in, I think I was 170.
Okay. Ma'am, there is no way on God's green earth you are a dress size 4. I do this in real life at 170 pounds. And why is that important?
Well, I mean, I have them in the closet. I think it just depends
No,
on
ma'am. No,
where you
ma'am.
get them.
Again, again, no offense, but professional image consultant who does this in the real world, 5'7" women, 170 pounds, you weigh more than a man.
Well, I will honestly say the last dress that I bought, it was a size 4, and I got it
Well,
from them.
okay, ma'am, but again, you see what you just did there? I'm 51 years old and a professional in this. And instead of just saying, you're right, this, that, you're going to just, in your nice feminine voice, argue the point. Why?
Okay. I'm not arguing,
Yeah, you are.
but
Yeah, you are. You are. You're telling me, well, you're wrong, sir. I do have a dress size 4. Let's move on. See, okay. Um, were you raised with mom and dad?
yes,
And your mother and father were married?
yes,
I can't hear you.
yes, they were married.
Are they still married?
My father passed away.
Okay. All right. Are you looking at YouTube or are you looking at me?
I'm looking at you.
Okay. Um, sorry to hear that, but I'm gonna tell you that from what I'm hearing, you have a nice demeanor right now, but the man making the kind of money you're talking about making don't want women that are 170 pounds. The average height of an American man is 5'9.5". He weighs 168 pounds. Again, you weigh more than a man. And that is going to affect your mating options, your marriage options. Is this the first time you're hearing something like this?
No, I've been listening to you for a while,
Okay.
and I just started Burn Boot Camp like 3 weeks ago. So I know I took a long break with this quarantine. I should not have done that, but I'm definitely in the gym every day, at least Monday through Saturday.
Okay. But one of the things is we have to be honest is black women have to stop, and I just got to say it, man. Black women have to stop lying to themselves about their physical bodies. I know what a dress size 4 looks like. And I can tell just by the girth of your arms. You're like a 10. And you're too young to be this size. This is why it's going to be so. If have you ever weighed more than you weigh now?
No.
All right. Well, let me just be honest, man. If I gotta just be truthful, you're looking for an elite level man, and you're an average woman, and that's not an insult. Average shouldn't be an insult. Okay.
Hmm.
This whole notion about not working, you will be working. 72% of mothers in this country have to work full or part time. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I've heard you say that before.
All right.
I honestly, I went to school, so I don't have a problem with working. What I'm
You went
saying
to
is,
school,
after I had the
college.
baby, I
You went to
do,
college,
yeah.
and your degree
So
is in
I
what?
mean, I my degree. It's in social work.
Right. So you went to school. Do you have student loan debt?
Yes, I do.
So what you're telling me is you went to school to go into debt to at the end to go to work to when you find a husband, just say, now you pay all that debt. It was useless then. Why go to college and get into all that debt if you're not going to use it?
No, that's what I'm saying. I want to use my degree. So my plan is, of course, structured around family planning when I get ready to have a child, to just have money saved up so that I'm able to pay that debt off because
Pay that debt
I
off with
don't
whose
want to
money though?
with mine.
How? Ma'am, social work. You're not balling. You get married, get pregnant, you don't want to work anymore. There's no more money coming in from you. How are you going to pay off a debt? How does that work?
What I was saying was I wanted to plan for a family. So I'm planning on having money saved before I have the baby so that I'm able
Saving
to pay
who?
off
Okay, ma'am. Saving. Okay. Again, saving whose money?
saving my money,
How
Kevin.
much are you making right now?
Right now, I make about $2,000 a month.
Lady, you're broke. That's $24,000 a year. You have to be living at home with mama or something. Okay, reality check time. You have no plan. And if you do have a plan, it's a bad one. You don't really seem to understand what you're saying doesn't make any sense. And how much is your student loan debt?
It's out. It's substantial.
How much is your
I'm
student
at
loan debt?
about 100K.
$100,000 in student loan debt to be a social worker? Ain't nobody gonna marry that. So basically, what you're saying is you're a 170 pound social worker with $100,000 in debt, and you expect somebody to marry you and allow you to stay at home and get what? Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? You're gonna save
No,
up some
not when
money.
you.
How you saving any money? You got it. You're living paycheck to paycheck right now, right?
Well, honestly, no, but
Okay.
that's only the.
Are you paying? Do you have? Are you in a? Do you live with somebody? Or you have your own place.
I have my own place.
How much is your rent?
My rent is like 750.
How much?
750.
Say again.
750.
$750 against a $2,000 a month income. These numbers don't add up, ma'am. You are living paycheck to
So
paycheck. Listen, young lady, you're living paycheck to paycheck. You make $2,000 a month and you got a $750 rent. You're not saving anything. Your plan at best would be I'm going to hold on until I could find a man who will pay my debts because you're not going to be able to afford to pay them with your income. And see, this is why women are mad at high value men because they won't take this. A high value man will come look at your situation and say, well, wait a minute. You weigh as much as a man. You got $100,000 in debt. You have low income skills. You don't want to have to really work. So it's all on me. Now, okay, let's say I decide to take that. What am I going to get? You're going to get a feminine woman. There are feminine women everywhere, ma'am, who are in great shape and lower debt. That's why I try to let a lot of black women realize you're upset with men that won't take this, and it's because you haven't even sat down and sharpened your own pencil and put pen to paper. It's all, well, fantasy. I will I don't want to just quit work. I want to actually save money. So that means he has to pay the bills. You worked yourself into a pretty bad position.
I agree.
Well, and the way out of it is to stop digging and stop lying to yourself. Stop saying you were a dress size 4 when you know you were in a 10 or a 10 plus. Get a second or you need a better job. I don't know what job you're doing, but if it's paying you $2,000 a month, that's $12 an hour. Ma'am, you can make more money at Circle K, Quick Trip, or Walmart. And $100,000 in debt. This is why women need men, because you shouldn't have even been allowed to get in this position.
Right.
I mean, how long ago did your father pass?
He passed away when I was 17.
So your mother allowed, no disrespect to your mother, but she allowed you to get into this debt for a useless degree. So when women say they don't need men, you need men for things like this: ration and reason, business. All right. I hope it works out for you, sis.